Hi, I'm John McCarthy. I'm here at the Cliffs of Moher, and today we're going to hear Paul's story. Paul's from Dublin. His story is of a man who hit rock bottom, but it's a wonderful, encouraging story. I hope you'll take a few minutes to listen to it. It's just a story that shows that God restores broken lives. Paul, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I'm 43 years of age. I come from a place on the north side of Dublin called Coolock. I have one brother, one sister, a mother and a father. Part of my story growing up was I was born with a disability. I have no eardrum in my left ear, so I was born without an eardrum. And that caused me an awful lot, I believe, was the foundation that caused me an awful lot of problems in life. When I went to school, it caused me so much trouble. I was always getting bullied, fighting in school, and getting bullied by the teachers. And eventually, in secondary school, I was expelled. I started hanging around with lads that were up to no good. I worked for a coal round, and they were paying me cigarettes and alcohol. So I think it was more of an acceptance thing with me. You know, I was looking for acceptance. I wasn't receiving this in school and stuff like that. So an awful lot of rejection throughout my life in those circumstances, you know. Yeah.
Paul, age 15, you started taking drugs. Where did it go from there?
It led me to prison. St. Patrick's, Mountjoy, 22 years of full-blown addiction, 22 years of prison. It led me into isolation, mentally and physically, depression, anxiety. I struggled with loneliness, and just a dark place, you know.
How did you deal with that?
At first I didn't know how to deal with it until I came across Tig Lynn. Tig Lynn is a Christian rehabilitation centre up in Wicklow. Tig Lynn actually came up to Mountjoy Prison, and I got released into their care, and they took me to Tig Lynn. When I went in first, it was very strange. I walked into an atmosphere I wasn't used to. And you have to remember, I brought all my prison and street attitudes with me. And while I was there, I entered into counselling and for my own issues, and bereavement counselling for my loss and for my isolation and stuff like that. But one thing that really stuck with me was there was guys there that I knew from prison, and there was something different about them, and I was attracted to that immediately. So what I done was I went and I had a chat with him, and I asked him what was going on, and he told me about Jesus. He told me about Christ, and he says to me, if you want what I have, he says, accept Jesus into your life. And that's basically what I done. I accepted Christ into my life, and day by day my life started to change.
As an addict, what did Jesus Christ do for you?
John, Jesus restored my life. He took away the brokenness. He took away the addiction. He took away my sickness. You know, I suffered with hepatitis for 17 years. It's gone. He just restored me. He was able to give me a heart to love those that hurt me in my past. I suffered a lot of rejection from others. And one thing I was able to do was he was able to give me that power to forgive and let go. You know, we can never forget, but I was able to forgive. And that's one thing God done, is he restored me. Christ gave me a heart, Jesus gave me a heart for education. You know, I never went to school, so I remember my mum teaching me how to read and write in the newspaper. And he gave me a heart for education, and I have a dyslexia. So there's certain words I can't read, and there's certain words I don't understand. And like, I can't subtract, but if you take a tenner out of my pocket, I know it's gone. But he gave me such a heart for education, John, that I've been through 3 universities.
Wow.
Maynooth, UCD and IT Carlow. And this time next month I'll have a degree.
Wow. Brilliant. So what's it like now, Paul? Free from addiction. What's life like?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. As I said to you previously, John, I this time next month I'll have a degree. I've got
Wow.
married to a beautiful wife. Her name is Laura.
Yeah.
I have two beautiful kids, Dylan and Hannah Maisie. Loved them to bits. And when I was in addiction, John, I was in prison all my life. I was in the system. I never got a chance to travel anywhere.
Wow.
And since then, I've actually gone to Canada to work in an addiction service,
Wow.
which is one of the mother houses is for Tig Lynn. I've went to Switzerland. Look, I've travelled the world, and my life is just progressing and progressing and progressing. I'm free.
So the message of Jesus has made a great impact on your life. Is there any key scriptures or key words from the Bible that mean a lot to you?
Yes, the whole Bible means a lot to me, but I have two that kind of stick out, John, that travel with me all the time, and one of them is Acts, chapter 18, verse 9, and it is Paul, "Do not be afraid, speak out, for I am with you." And that's one thing always happened in my life. I was afraid, and God here in this scripture is reassuring me, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." And the other one, John, that I keep close to my heart as an ex-addict is that when my thoughts are being attacked and I get these impulsive to use or drink or take drugs, God gave me a scripture in 1 Corinthians 10:13, and it says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to man. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted with more than you can handle. And when you are being tempted, He will provide a way out."
Wow.
So when I'm tempted, I go to my faith. I go to my prayer closet and I speak them scriptures over my life.
Paul, what would you say to anyone caught in addiction today? Would you have any advice?
Yes, my advice would be seek help for your addiction. You know, your health care is very important. And number two is what I would tell them is link in with your local Christian church and be introduced to Jesus and give your life to God. Because there's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Submit your ways to God and He will direct your path." And that's what God will do. When you surrender to Him and give Him your ways, He will direct you. He's done it for me. I don't see why He can't do it for you. And if you need to talk, John has my number. Give me a call, I'll talk to you.
Paul, thanks a lot. Thanks for
Thanks,
your
John.
story.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for sharing. And we'll see you again next time on Cliffs of Hope.